Hi, I'm Joe Lindsay. Welcome to How's the Form, a podcast for men in, let's say, the second half of life, like myself, over 50.
How's the Form is brought to you by AgeNI and is part of the Good Vibrations Over 50s Men's Health Programme, which is funded by Movember.
Today's guest is a four-time world kickboxing champion born, bred and buttered in East Belfast. Through focus, graft and sheer bloody determination, he became Ireland's most successful full contact kickboxer. Behind the fighter is a man who thrives on helping others, promoting health, peace and respect through sport and in his local community. He opened his Prokick gym in 1990 and 3 decades later, his famous Tin Hut gym in East Belfast has created 18 world champions. He's a martial arts master, a mentor and a community leader. And I'm proud to say he's a mate of mine. Ladies and gentlemen, Billy Murray. Hello Billy, how's the form?
The form is great, Joe. And how are you?
I'm good, thanks. I did mention, before we get into all the other accolades in your life, are you still mistaken for Gary Oldman in America?
Not now.
Really?
No.
There was a phase you were, though.
Yeah, well, there was a time when we were going into different locations that people would come up and ask me for my autograph. I was saying, what's going on here? Yeah, I thought they knew something about the kickboxing, but no, it wasn't that.
Tell the truth, have you signed an autograph as Gary Oldman?
I have actually one time.
Good man.
One time in LA, I done that. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, and then I signed it, AKA Billy Murray.
So I guess let's start at the beginning. I mean, 4-time world kickboxing champion. You got into kickboxing when you were a teenager. Very few people knew about kickboxing at the time. How did you get into it in the first place?
Yeah, it started when I was at school, and I was beaten up pretty badly, 14, 15 years of age, and I played truant. I was really afraid. It was a pretty bad beating. There was a thing called the Black Arch in school, and I went to Ashfield School, and it was quite notoriously tough. And you walk down the corridor and there'd be guys on one side and one on the other, and you have to walk through and the kick and punch. That was okay, that was done. But after school, I was beaten up after school by 3 or 4 lads. And you know what? It was a blessing as well, because it changed my life. Right. It changed my life in a way where my mother bought me a book, Beginner's Guide to Kung Fu. And, you know, there's something about the power of words and the power of a book, Joe. I just got into it and it literally changed my life. My father was quite a hard man. He was quite tough. He knew nothing about what was going on about the school, because he would have got me up and he would have got me, took him to the doors and says, right, fight and get this sorted out. But, you know, I played truant from school for nearly 3 months, Joe.
Wow.
You couldn't do that now until one of the headmasters came out. And I was taken up to school with my mother. My mother sat outside, and because I wouldn't tell them who it was, because I was still afraid to tell them who it was, I got 4 canes across the hand. You know, I'm glad things have moved on since then.
Yeah, totally. But that gave you the kind of a sense of fortitude and determination that you, from there, you kind of didn't look back. It became such a huge part of your life.
Yeah, it did. Because the first thing that I had on my mind was I was ashamed of myself. My father was such a hard man. He was such a taskmaster. And with saying that, he would have wanted me to go the other extreme and get these guys. And I had revenge on my mind. And for such a long time, and I used to open the book and practice with the book, the different hand formations, the different striking methods, the elbow strike, the knee strike, the side kick to the knee. And I practiced those for such a long time, and I had revenge on my mind. And then suddenly, forget about the revenge. It's not about revenge. And I went to karate, Ju-jitsu, kung fu, and then I got involved into kickboxing. I excelled in the karate, I excelled in the Ju-jitsu and the taijutsu, and then I went to Thai boxing, kickboxing, and I had my first fight in 1979. Wow. And never looked back. I just had a thirst for it. I loved it. I found something that thought I was pretty good at, which turned out I was
You've
good
done
at.
all right.
I've done okay.
You've done all right.
Yeah, I've done well. I've traveled the globe. I've met some incredible people, some incredible stars through my career, and I've had a blessed career. It's been tough. It's been very, very hard at times, but I feel as if I'm blessed.
What was it like that first time getting in the ring? At like a competitive level? I'm sure that's a memory that you'll never forget.
It's really weird because the guy who I'm friends with today, he's called Anthony Brennan, and he's in the city, and he makes all these wee sticks of different politicians and things.
Oh yeah, I've seen his work. Yeah,
yeah.
It's really cool. He makes like a chess sets and
yes,
stuff.
he does.
Aye,
yeah,
they're brilliant. Yeah,
so I was practicing Ju-jitsu in Mesfield Leisure Centre, and this was a long time ago in the 70s. And he was looking through the window, and he came down and he approached me and he says, "Do you ever fancy kickboxing? What's kickboxing? You're allowed to punch and kick each other really hard, right? Okay, well, I'll be into that. I'm in. When's the competition?" And he said, "It's this Saturday." Okay, right, I'll do it. So I turned up on Saturday, weighed in about 63, 65 kilo. Name was called, climbed into the ring. Who was standing on the other side? Anthony Brennan.
Brilliant.
Right, so he was sort of weighing me up. I think I could take him, so I lost the fight.
Right.
But you know what? I lost the fight, but I thought I won the fight. You know, it was one of those ones. But it gave me such a desire and a thirst for more, and I never lost a fight after that for about the next 10 years. It was just incredible. Became Ulster, Anthony and I became friends. We started to train together. We went to Wembley for the World Championships in 1983. We won heats here in Northern Ireland to become Ulster champion. And there we were elevated into London, into the big stage. It was even hard to get to London. I mean, from here in the 80s, it was very, very, very difficult. So we were off. We went to London, lost in London. Lost in London, but that's the time that I never lost a fight for years after that, because it also gave me such a drive as well. Then I won the World Amateur Championships in 1987 in Birmingham. And then after that I turned professional 88, and I won British, won a European, and then fought my way through Europe, got a shot at the world title, and became world professional champion in 1989 in the Ulster Hall. Lost the first time, got him the second time. Had a defence off it, moved up a weight, won that title, moved up another weight, won that title, had a defence off it, moved up another weight. And just kept going and travelling. And as I said, I've met some incredible people. I've sat this close to the King of Thailand. Met the past Queen of England, and met incredible politicians from all over the world. We also had the former president of Ireland,
Mary McAleese.
Mary McAleese.
She's very fond of you.
Yeah, and I love her to bits, and it was incredible what we done. She came, she visited the gym, she heard what we were doing with the kids about instilling the confidence with the kids and teaching them our motto, truth, discipline and respect.
Yeah.
And pushing that forward with the kids. And one of her historical visit to Northern Ireland, we were part of it, and she came and she visited us. And we became friends, and then she invited me to the Aris in Dublin, and she says, bring your crew, bring your team from all over Europe. I brought about 30 people, and we went down and we invaded the Aris. And when was it? It was on the 12th of July, and it was a reenaction of the Battle of the Boyne. And the next minute, I got a tap on the shoulder. It says, "The President would like you to follow in the speech." What? I wasn't even prepared for nothing, but I just went up and winged it. Yeah, and it went down really well, and we've stayed in touch ever since.
Good. I want to talk about in terms of your community, the work you do with kids. Like, I witnessed it firsthand. I used to train with you, and when I see what you do with kids, the transformation where there's kids who've come into your classes who have not got great self-esteem or whatever, and when they come out, these kids look about a foot taller. You know, you kind of, and the way you do it, one of the things I always love is you call each other Mr. Like you're Mr. Murray. Yeah. You call me Mr. Lindsay. And the way, that's what you do with kids, to show them that saying that is a mark of respect and it's not something that you should sort of be embarrassed about, whatever. Was that always important to you when you became a teacher?
Yeah, it is, because it was instilled into me. I trained along with the Japanese, and the Japanese are very strict. They're very strict in the discipline and the ethos of the sport. And they say sensei, and kung fu in Chinese form it's sufi, and in the Thai style it's sir or it's mister, and we followed that on through. I think the discipline is important in our lives. If you have no discipline in your life, Joe, I mean, where are we going to be? Sometimes we're the mess that people get into because they haven't got a focus and a discipline. And it's important for us when we have the kids coming in that we try and give that, and we try and instill that into the kids. And if we can instill a little bit of the be true to yourself, have the discipline in your life of getting up in the morning, making your bed and helping your mom, helping your dad and helping the family, and the respect for yourself, because if you have no respect for yourself, you'll have no respect for others. And we try and instill that. And it works. We've got kids coming in, and they're very introverted, they're very shy. They come in, their parents are bringing them in, they're dragging them in, they're really dragging them in. They're coming in because they don't want to come in, and the kids are crying, and they don't want to come in, so we have to calm that down, and then we have to make them feel comfortable. And then after a couple of weeks, Joe, and even in the first lesson, seriously, they're going out and they've got a beaming with their smile. They're coming out of themselves even a little bit more than it's just to speed that process up. And then you've got the aggressive ones. You've got the bad boys and the bad girls coming through the door that are very loud. And it sort of subdues that. So it's an adverse effect for the ones that are introverted. We bring that out. We help to bring them out of themselves. And the aggressive ones, we calm them down. And that's all important in the yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full, sir, and the respect. Which is absolutely.
I remember you saying like you what you want to do is teach people self-defense so they never have to use it. So you have a level of self-respect that if you get into anything, any kind of form of aggression or any kind of, you can just walk away from it. Or any kind of confrontation, that you're confident enough that you can walk away from that.
Well, you know what? It's about having the confidence. It's about having the confidence that, God forbid, that if it ever happens that you're ever accosted in the street and somebody's coming at you, that you know that you can handle yourself, that you may still get hurt. You may still get hurt, but at the same time, that if you've got that confidence, it gives you that not of invincibility, but that confidence that you can stand on your own 2 feet, which is really important.
It's all ages come to your classes as well. I mean, because sometimes I think a lot of people, when you hit a certain age, you think, oh, it's too late for me to kind of take up something like that. I would say you think that's rubbish, right?
Of course, yeah. The youngest we've had in the gym, my grandson Leo started when he started before he could walk. I have video of him, and I'm holding him, and he's on the speedball, and he's hitting the speedball like this here, and he can't walk yet, and then I'm holding him, and he's standing beside a punch bag, and he's kicking the punch bag. He started in the class when he's 4. 4 is really young for us. 6 years of age is nice, because then they start to learn lefts from rights, and shush, quiet, let's go, sprint, stuff like that. And they understand a lot better at 6 years of age. So we start basically at 6. The oldest we've got is Granny Goody. Do you remember?
I do remember Granny Goody.
Yeah, Granny Goody. Pauline Goody, she's been in the gym. She brought her granddaughter, Grace, who's one of my fighters. And Grace has fought in Japan. She won the All Japan Championships. Wow. She fought for a European title. She's with me in the gym since she is 6 years of age. She's now 22 years of age now. And she's still competing. in a regular basis. She was off for a while because she had long COVID and she couldn't get over it for a while. Wow. So it really hindered her for a couple of years. But now she's back on track. Her Granny Goody brought Grace when she was 6. And then she said to me one time, "Am I too old for this lark?" I said, "Well, this lark, the sport, you mean?" Yeah. So it went from there that she wanted to try a bit. Now, Pauline is 68 years of age, and honestly, she can do more than some of the 20-year-olds in the gym. She eats well, she sleeps well. She's just retired from her work. She's been working all her life. She's just retired, and she's spent more time in the gym now as well. She's so super fit. So age, the other one is Rocky Desi.
Yeah.
Do you remember Rocky Desi?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Rocky Desi is 75 years
He's not,
of
is he?
age.
He doesn't look it, does he?
Well, I said he was 80-something the other week.
He loved that, didn't he?
He loves it. Yeah, so he's 75. He's got, he needs a hip replacement, not through the sport. And he was the same. He brought his grandson to the gym, and he asked me exactly the same. Pauline is now a black belt. She got her black belt about 5 years ago. Desi got his black belt 10 years ago. He got his black belt when he was 50 years of age. He started when he was 50, and he got his black belt when he was 60.
Blimey.
So like, it doesn't matter about the age. The age, it doesn't matter what age you are, you still can get involved. And it doesn't mean to say that because you're a bit older, that you can't do it. You can do it. We just tailor the exercise to suit you.
Yeah.
Which is really important.
And why is exercise beneficial? What does it bring to you, mentally and physically?
Mentally, if you're physically fit, it'll bounce to the head. You're mentally strong as well. There's no question about that. I mean, statistics tells us that if you're physically fit, you can be mentally strong as well, and that's really important. If somebody is struggling with mental health, we get it all the time, Joe. Honestly, the amount of people's coming through the door now saying that they've got mental health issues. Years ago, you didn't hear much about it. They didn't. It was like a stigma that was involved with this mental health, and now people are quite happy to say that they've got mental health issues. Not happy to say that.
No, but I know what you mean. They're comfortable about saying it, because I think everybody
yeah.
does to one degree or another.
Yeah. So the amount of people that we've got coming through the door saying that and saying, can this help me? Can this? Yeah. Well, okay. Start in this program. You take your time, and you develop your way up. And you can see them getting more confident with their exercise. People coming for all different reasons, for being overweight, low self-esteem, something that they've split with their wife, their husband, their boyfriend. It doesn't matter what it is. They've got something, they've lost their job, they've no money. What we do in the gym really does help.
Let's take a short break there and head over to the doctor's surgery for a reminder about some ways we can be a little bit healthier.
My name's Dr. Alan Stout and I'm a GP. This week we're talking about mental health, or I'm going to call it mind fitness. We're all aware of the things that we can do for physical fitness, and in the same way, mind fitness can be built up and looked after. Mind fitness can in turn enhance our ability to cope with stress, pressure, and everyday worries, or mental strength. Feeling low or demotivated, feeling constantly stressed or anxious, or withdrawing from normal social contact with friends, family, or loved ones can be signs that we need to look after our mental well-being. For some reason, men seem to think of mental health as mental illness and steer away from talking about it or addressing it. Everyone has mental health, and it's something we need to attend to on an ongoing basis. Mental illness, on the other hand, is a condition that may require medical treatment. Like physical fitness, mental fitness will go up and down, change over time, and we can exercise a degree of control over it if we choose to. Let's recap on some of the basic things for good health and overall well-being. And regular physical exercise has been shown to help us feel good. Exercise releases endorphins, which are feel-good hormones, which can improve mood and reduce anxiety. The more you exercise, the better you feel. If you can make fresh air part of it, even better. Being outdoors is great for calm perspective and an escape from the noisiness of life. Diet, and believe it or not, what we eat and drink plays a crucial role in our mental health. Eating a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains can provide essential nutrients for brain function. It's time to fuel your body and your brain right and step away from high fat, high sugar and highly processed foods and snacks. Sleep and quality of sleep is a vital element of our health and well-being that is badly underrated. Try and make sure that you get 7 to 9 hours of uninterrupted sleep at night and get off your phone and devices before you go to bed. Social connections. If I was David Attenborough, I'd tell you that humans are pack animals. We're designed to be with others to thrive. Healthy relationships, friends and family can have an incredible impact on your mental fitness. Catch up with a mate every now and then, and do keep in touch with others. Talking something through or hearing about other people's lives can help reduce your own stress and improve our ability to cope with worries and pressures. It's definitely good to talk. When it comes to mind fitness, a few more specific tips you could try are working on a positive mindset. If you're constantly thinking negative thoughts or feeling weighed down, this is bound to affect how you approach everyday tasks. Instead, try to cultivate a positive mindset. Reframe negative thoughts with something positive. Instead of I have to, think I get to. Have you tried to practice gratitude? Can you list 3 things, no matter how small, that you're grateful for? And doing this daily can improve your overall outlook on life. I know it sounds mad, but it really does work. Aim for a focus. Life is so busy and there's so many distractions, devices and constant sources of news and information coming at us from all angles. Try to be focused, to be fully present in the moment, and whether you're eating, walking or working. We all think multitasking is a skill, but the reality is that it really stresses the brain. So focusing on just one thing at a time can help to reduce anxiety. It involves focusing your attention on the present moment, which can help calm the mind and improve cognitive function. Give it a try. There are lots of videos online, including the Good Vibrations I Connect website. Breathe. One technique which is really underrated is in controlling your breathing. By controlling your breath, in turn, you can also control your heart rate, making you feel more calm. Practice deep breathing and relaxation techniques, and this really works too. And finally, stress can take a real toll on your physical health as well as how you feel. If you're feeling stressed, talk to somebody that you trust. Talking something through with another person can help your brain to process and unscramble your thoughts. Take time out if you can to get away from the cause of the stressful situation, even if it's for just a short period. And learn to accept what you cannot change. Know that at times you simply have to let some things go. Give your brain a break. If you feel that stress is overwhelming you or affecting your physical health, it is so important that you see your GP. We should all be aiming to do things every day that give our mental fitness a workout, and try some of these tips to get you started.
AgeNI's Good Vibrations programme is for men over 50. If you or someone you know could use some advice or support on health, well-being or mental health, there's lots more information online at ageni.org/iConnect. That's letter I, CONNECT. Or visit ageni.org/good vibrations to sign up for monthly emails with expert tips and information. Remember, it's okay not to feel okay. The AgeNI Good Vibrations team are here with help and support.
Have you heard of Ikigai?
No.
Ikigai is a Japanese philosophy for a long and happy life.
Yeah.
It's Ikigai.
Right.
Ikigai. And I was introduced to this about 10 years ago when I started to read it. I started listening to the audio, and every time I was out walking or running, I would put it on, and I would listen to it, and I would just repeat it, because there's valuable lessons in it. The whole philosophy with Ikigai is you need a purpose in the morning. You need a purpose to get out of bed. And if you don't have a purpose, what happens if you don't have a purpose? You just go into decline. And that's it.
Yeah.
It's the end of life. I found my reason years ago. My reason is my sport. I love what I do, and I love helping people.
You pass on your successes, your experiences on to another generation and another generation and another generation.
Yes.
That's quite a powerful thing to do.
Well, yes, it is, and that's the reason I get up in the morning, Joe.
Yeah.
So the Ikigai philosophy is that instead of vigorous exercise, what they do, they get up, they would exercise around the house, they would start to clean, they would do this, they would do up here, they're lifting their arm from here. They're getting exercise and they don't know it. Mm-hmm. They go out to the garden and they spend hours in the garden bending down, bending their limbs, straightening their back, up here with a tree, down, they're doing this, and it's exercise. And that's part of the Ikigai. And it's about communicating with your friends and neighbours. You have to say in the morning, for me, hello, good morning, how are you? You well?
Yeah.
Well, and you look somebody in the face. If you don't have it, a lot of people just walk past each other and they don't say hello anymore. So the Ikigai, there's documentaries on Channel 4 and Channel 5, and Netflix has got one going as well. There's plenty of things online that you can look, and if you don't want to do vigorous exercise, you don't need to do it. You just need to get up, get active, and go out, and it will enhance your life. But you need to have the interaction with your neighbour, with walking down the street to say hello to someone. And saying hello to someone, you could stop and you could have a conversation and you could have something in common and you could maybe meet them later for a social interaction, for a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. You know, so I dragged my lovely Adele. I was on a pilgrimage, and there's a place called Ogami in Okinawa in Japan. We were in Tokyo at the time, and it was a fair hike to get to Okinawa. So off we went, and we sat in this rickety old bus. And Ogami was 2 hours from the capital. So we're sitting in this bus. It was about 35 degrees. It was sweltering heat. We had about half a bottle of water between us. We weren't prepared on the bus.
You're still together?
And we're still together. So we're sitting on the bus, and the next minute, she's looking at me, I'm looking at her. Where is this? Ogami. To the left, it was pure sea. To the right, it was mountains.
Wow.
And we were on this wee road on the coast. And the next minute, the driver's going, Ogami! And I'm looking around, where's Ogami? Where? So we have to get off the bus. So we get off the bus, and the Ogami Centre is a well-being centre. It's a community centre where all the centenarians meet, the older people from that area. They live so long. I mean, scientists from all over the world go and want to know why they're living longer. Diet, the interaction with community, light exercise, not vigorous exercise, light exercise, which is really important, and the social coherence of one another. So we get off the bus, nothing, mountains, sea, me and her. Picture and no sound.
Brilliant.
It was crazy. So there's a big bend on the far side. I said, I'm going to run on and see if I can find it. So I run and please God, please, I'm running around the corner. That has to be round. So it was about 1.5 miles around the corner, and a sign said Ogami just there, point with an arrow pointing. So I run back, sweat flying out off me.
Yeah.
Come back. So we finally made it to the centre. And you know what? Honestly, I thought that I had arrived. We went to the centre. We met people at 104, 105. The oldest was 108.
Wow.
94 is a young guy and young girl in the place, and they're sitting playing checkers and they're playing games with each other. It's just incredible. Just to see that
So
and witness that.
It's a philosophy of lifestyle.
It is.
And what you're describing sounds beautiful, because it doesn't actually require you to do anything too extreme.
Nothing.
It's actually just telling you what we should all be doing anyway, really, isn't it?
That's why people should look at this. You don't need to have Ikigai to do it. But we just need to have a bit of common sense. Get up in the morning. Do a little bit of light exercise. It'll enhance your life. It'll enhance your well-being. It'll put your mood better so you can talk and interact with other people. The other thing, what you could do as well is simple, walk. I went on another pilgrimage on my own. I done the Camino just not so long ago, just late last year. Didn't do it for any reason. I'd done it just for myself because I always wanted to do it. My mother and father, I saw a picture of them. The both of them are now passed, but both of them died of cancer. I looked at this photograph and I saw them in San Sebastian, and looked and said, "Where's that from? Was that a pilgrimage they were on?" And decided that I had to do it, so I done the walk from Sarria right through to Spain, and it was lovely.
Everyone I know that's ever done it has come back changed. They've come back with a completely different outlook. Was that the same for you?
Yeah, I think I came back a nicer person.
That's not possible if you're a nicer person. You've always been a nice person. If you're any more nice, it would make you sick.
Oh, stop. No, they do. And I met some incredible people on the way. People at 70 and 80 that are walking 20 miles per day, Joe. Anything's possible. Everything's possible. You can do anything you want to do, but you have to have the mindset to get up, get out, and do a little bit of light exercise and just enhance your life. I love inspiring people to get up and do something about themselves and to make a better life for themselves.
Thank you very much, Billy Murray.
Before we finish off today, let's take a minute or two to pause with Owen O'Kane, who has some great advice on how we can be kind to our mind.
My name is Owen O'Kane. I'm a psychotherapist, Sunday Times best-selling author and former NHS lead for mental health. And today I'm going to talk about a subject that I think is probably the most important of the subjects I talk about, and that is how you talk to yourself and how you treat yourself. Now, in my experience, most people would never speak to another human being the way they speak to themselves. And by that I mean that voice in your head that tells you that you're rubbish, you're not good enough, that you're a failure, that other people are doing better than you, that you're pathetic. You know, this is common stuff that I hear every day of the week. And I think that people really struggle because they believe that voice and they treat themselves badly. So as a rule of thumb, I would say again and again, if you wouldn't say it to another human being, then why would you say it to yourself? So I'd really encourage you to stop and think today about, how do you talk to yourself? How do you treat yourself? Are you compassionate to yourself? Are you giving yourself a hard time? Are you constantly beating yourself up? Because if you are doing this, then it will impact on the way you're feeling. It will impact on your mood. It will impact on your anxiety levels. And if you can get this right, and if you can work on this part of yourself, then everything changes. So as a rule, I would say, begin to think of yourself and begin to treat yourself as someone who matters. Because when you treat yourself and when you speak to yourself as someone who matters, then suddenly life changes for the better.
AgeNI are the local experts on later life. If you or someone you know is struggling to navigate the challenges of life after 50 and need information or advice on benefit entitlements, housing or care for a loved one, call the AgeNI advice line in confidence 9 to 5, Monday to Friday on 0808 808 75 75.
That's it for this episode of How's the Form. Hope you'll join us next time.
How's the Form is brought to you by AgeNI and is part of the Good Vibrations Over 50s Men's Health Programme, which is funded by Movember.